shared room 326 and all of my experiences at Bound. And it's especially joyous when I had a chance and we took the picture together for us to mix together and both parts of my life came together in that moment, and it was such a happy thing. Because Bound has been a really happy place for me. Teaching has been a happy career for me. It's been my only career. I started when I was in college, and I've been here ever since. I left for 9 years to stay home with my children, but I came back. And I have found that to have a sense of purpose, to feel that you are accomplishing something, to be helpful to children when they're in that special, critical time of life where they're evaluating their parents and their ways and making choices for their future, to be a sounding board for them when they won't listen to their parents, to work with people who share your dreams and your goals and your commitments, to be in conversation with people who are alive with interest in the topics around them and the topics from the past and the way things are done, people who problem solve, who observe what's going on and then draw conclusions and bounce them against one another. That's so exciting. It's so exciting. And history is sometimes considered to be dead, but it seemed to me it kept coming alive over and over in different shapes and different forms. And that was so exciting. It was a joyous career that I had. I looked forward to the career. I looked forward to coming to school. And I think that teaching itself is a joyous career because once there was a guest speaker at the school, a motivational speaker, who addressed the group of seniors and said, I want any of you to raise your hand if you know somebody who gets up in the morning and says that they want to go to work, but exclude all the teachers you know. Because I think that the people who stay with teaching are there because they feel the reward and the need and the growth, their growth, the children's growth. You don't really stagnate and you don't get a job done. It's a commitment. Of course, there's been a continuing theme here about technology. Yeah. You know, some people have it and some people don't. And I'm about as far as don't have it as you can be. I sit here and I look at Henry Gelfand and I think of all these little things that I did. I was a very determined person in the beginning. So determined that when in the 70s we had no substitute teachers hired because we had the big layoffs. They decided that all coverages would be done by people in the building. So of course you wanted to leave something really solid for your colleagues. And so I spent 3 weekends doing these enormous self-contained individual learning packets. And then there were no machines that were working except the principal's manual. Not to be deterred, I sneaked down after hours. And there I was, mimeographing away, and I wrote. And we used to punch a time clock. There were not many people that could be identified as being in the building in those days. And I was there. But luckily for me, so was Henry Gelfand. Henry could fix anything. Of course, there was this little issue is that I didn't like Henry. Henry used to make sexist comments all the time. And that pissed me off big time. And I thought, do I want to face the principal or do I want to face Henry? It was not a quick decision. Finally, I went to the principal. But then the principal called Henry. So I really had the best of both worlds because my conscience was clear and the machine was being fixed and everything worked out. But Marty Jansen's story, you know, it got to the stage. It was pathetic. I'm pathetic about this. Marty would say, listen, Kathy, I have a doctor's appointment on Thursday. No audio-visual on Thursday. And he used to like post his notices when I could show him. I was better at film strip projectors, except that I used to burn up the film sometimes because I got carried away talking about the frame. But 16 millimeter was deadly. And then came transparencies and overcooking them in the machine. I mean, it's just one fiasco after another. Even the typewriter was a challenge for me. And so when I was with my group planning groups, Felicia and I did lots of years of planning, and she always did all the typing. I would do the duplicating because by then I was friendly with Henry, so if I didn't have a problem. And so many nice things happened because Bound really has a family feel to it. And the social studies department is even a closer family, where the nuclear family So everyone has dips and times in their life. During one of those dips, the chairman at the time, Sonia Nalvin, found this very nice scholarship to study at Oxford. And I was in a dip. And I said, I'm never going to get that. And she and Felicia talked, and Felicia typed up the application and typed up all the things that I needed, had them all in an envelope for me, and said, now just walk in the door, Kathy, and hand it in. If a family comes to you when they need help, when I became assistant principal, I needed a lot of help, a lot of help. And it's the most amazing thing. Ellen Poplar was there. Marty Jansen had been the assistant principal for 3 years, so he would just come in Sunday and said, okay, what are we doing today? Every free period, what are we doing today, Kathy, you know? And Ellen, when it came to Regents organization, and Jean organizing me because well, you've all been to my office, so you know. And Jean would come in and fix it and put everything back in shape so I could find things. People were continually carrying me along. Sometimes I'd have to come two at a time, and one take an elbow on each side and lift me up and carry me through it. And that was my family at school. But my family at home was equally as supportive and equally as wonderful.
Thank you. He left.
Tony was the first person who had suggested I might take administration courses, but I never, ever wanted or intended to do that. I really never did. And I said, oh, it's so nice, and then I went on my way. But Don Smurdy suggested it to me several times. And Maggie was the one, well, you know, right? Everybody knows Maggie's story, that he was one of the top salesmen for GM on the East Coast. So there was no, when Maggie suggested it, there was no not doing it. You know, he just, like any other deal, he just tied me up. But he backed it up. He took care of the kids. He made the dinners when I was going to school. We had only one car then. He drove me up to New Rochelle and dropped me off in the morning and went back at night and picked me up again. He really stepped up, and he has continually throughout my years as an assistant principal been a guiding influence on me. And as a matter of fact, I'm known as the person who brought ROTC into the building, but ROTC was Maggie's idea. We were sitting and we were talking one day, and I said, it's so sad. There are so many good kids at Bound, and they don't have a way of getting together with one another. And the crazies run in the halls and they get all the attention, and where do the good kids go to bond with others? You know? And he said, you know, when I was in high school, my high school was converted to a military school. And that made a tremendous difference, the way it brought people together, and we had a sense of purpose. And from that, the idea was born. And happily, Ken Hinkson had been in the Air Force, and he helped me do the research. We went around, looked at programs, and we were so fortunate to have First Sergeant Colbert and then Sergeant Rollways during the program. And our children, our good children, now have a place to bond together. Not that there aren't good children that are not at ROTC, but the ones that need that companionship, nowhere to go, even for only a time. So one thing after another happened, and the years flew by, and there were a lot of years to fly by, and they flew, and they were happy. You know, when you're not happy, time drags, but when you're happy, things just pop along. And so, all of a sudden, I was amazed that all of the people that used to sit with me in room 326 were gone. Look at that, we were all together, and then one by one, they sneaked out. They just said, we'd have parties, and we had a good time at the parties, and everybody would come back, and then they were gone. But new people came, and the new people were so nice. And it was fun having the new people there. And you got to know them, but still all of the roles that went on in 326 were maintained. There was the philosopher role, there was the political instigator role, there was the conservative role, there was the challenge role, there was the political extremist role. And every one of those roles were maintained. So really it wasn't all that disoriented when the names and the faces changed, because the spirit went on. And the spirit's here tonight. And it's such a joyous thing for me to enjoy that spirit in a different setting. And I'm not even going to say for the last time, because that spirit will go on, and I can visit it sometimes. And I can stop by and I can see that same kind of commitment to children, commitment to doing a good job, sense of teamwork, efficiency, cleverness, creativity, sharing. I can see all those things when I pop by, maybe on Fridays because it's Pizza Friday. And for me, I'm on a new path now. And No, I didn't rush into it, that's for sure. And all my friends said, you know, Kathy, you're not going to be poor. You can retire. You're not going to be poor. But it is a nice path. And you can do reckless things like 2 weeks ago I had pizza on a Thursday instead of on Friday. Just do whatever you want to do. Maggie and I go to the YMCA, go to the gym and things like that. Take all our meds on time and we do it. I went to the library 3 days ago and I got a stack of books. It's not that I haven't read, I read all the time. But I never, since I was very young, I didn't lounge to the library and read all the titles on the shelf and pick the ones I wanted. And I could do that. And there was nothing hanging over my head. That was a delicious experience. And I bet you there are lots of other delicious experiences that I haven't even started to try out. And I'm looking forward to those things. So for those of you who are my companionships in this wonderful, in this wonderful journey, thank you. I appreciated traveling with you along the road. I appreciated all the things you taught me. Some people taught me very profound lessons. One of them is no longer with us, Bobby Aguilar. When I was in the dean's office with him, from him I learned the idea. He could say anything to any person. He could say things that you would think were outrageous. And no person in all the years I was with him was ever offended. Not a child, not a parent, not a staff member. And I realized that the key was that he had absolutely no malice when he said it. No malice, no contempt. It was an observation. And people always accepted those observations. That was a really good thing. Neil Maffei taught me that when new initiatives are introduced, and you know that they're going to be absolutely absurd and not work, that you shouldn't say first thing, oh, that's a dumb idea, that's not going to work. That you should take a step back and you should try it before you make a judgment. And that started me thinking along the lines of assumptions, which probably is the biggest problem that any educator has. The assumptions that the children and the families make about us, the assumptions we make about children, the assumptions we make about innovation, about the system, all of these things. Assumptions are deadly things. And so as time went on, I learned each of these lessons very slowly. It took me a long time. And I learned almost every lesson the hard way. That's why I was able to share ideas with people, because you know there's nothing like real pain to remind you of what you did. I had plenty of pains along the way. But it's been a great career. I'm so happy that I had it. I'm so happy that I shared it with you. I thank you for being here tonight.